Hi everybody, I'm really happy to be with you today for a sharing. I'm really used to do that kind of thing in French first, if you notice my accent, but also to do it on Facebook. So I'm changing the formula here. I want to do it in English to talk a little bit about what I have to bring to the world, and I'm doing it on YouTube. So already there, if you want to subscribe and if you like what I do, you can subscribe to my channel. It's on YouTube right now. So I don't know where to start. My name is Mick, and welcome to From Stranger to Another. You see here, if you're on YouTube, that the title is in French. I'm gonna work on having another visual, but I started my channel in French, so one thing is gonna lead to another anyway. If you wanna comment, if you wanna share with me things, if you wanna have a conversation, there's a chat over here. It's open to everybody. So let's go. Let's just get in the topic if you want. If you want to go, because I wrote a book. Yeah, it took me 2 years to write that book, and I wanted to talk about it because I think there's a really good message, and with the transformation that we're living right now, the real question is how can I live that transformation with everybody, and my book is really from a stranger to another, because I think that we talk a lot about an awakening. We talk a lot about, like, okay, everybody is waking up a lot right now, but we see a good awakening with the informations, and a lot of people are waking up, but at the same time, all the governments, they getting worse and worse in like the freedom that we're losing and everything. So we can critique the government, we can be harsh with the government, but from a stranger to another, from a person to another, how can we be better with someone else? So I have a story to tell, and today that video will be about my story, because I think you have to know me before knowing my teachings. But I have a lot of other topics after that. I have maybe 20 topics in French right now on my channel, and I really want to expand my English teachings too, because it's not about like how we see the world, or how the world is harsh to us right now, but it's about how we can be transform ourselves to expand ourselves to the world. Because if we transform inside of ourselves, the world we're gonna transform, or it's gonna translate our energy to the world. We're gonna throw to the world a better energy, and we're gonna help that transformation that we're living right now. I hope you're following me here. And so it's gonna be my story, the story of that book. It's really my spiritual transformation here, how I got to change, to be a better person, and also to be more kind with every stranger, because and I write it. The book is in French, so I don't want to sell it to you. I don't want to, I just want to talk about my story, my travel. Like I said, in my book, I write 2 or 3 times that they try to make us believe that from a stranger to another, we have to be fearful. We have to be frightened by everybody. That everybody is. It's like the tale of the crazy hitchhikers. There's millions of people that are hitchhiking every year, but we always think about the hitchhiker that can kill, the murderer hitchhiker. But in fact, hitchhiking, it's really a good way to bring people together. And this is what I did in my book. They try to make us believe that we are that we should be afraid of everybody, that everybody is mean to everybody, and that the government will provide for everybody, that they will find every solutions. But if we look deep down, in fact, it's quite the opposite. When we see strangers, when we talk to strangers or to friends or to family, everybody wants to help everybody. Everybody wants to be part of a love giving process where everybody helps everybody. And I think this is how we can create a better world, and also a better way of living. And yeah, there's a big transformation right now. We see, like for an example, in New Zealand, they just put everybody in quarantine, or like they did quarantine camp or something like that for 4 cases, and you're like, okay, I don't think that will stop. And we know now with all the informations out there that it's going to continue even if there's no crisis in Nova Scotia here in Canada. They put the mandatory mask for zero cases, and you're like, okay, it's not the situation. There's like a plan here or something they will do to continue their plan. So to come back to my book, the logo here, it's the Hanahata. It's the heart chakra because the next step of our evolution, it's gonna be from the heart. We can expand our mind with all the information that is out there about the science and everything, but the real transformation will be about our art right now. That's why, and we gotta focus on the heart chakra here. So let me and we need a mental balance and a physical balance with everything. We need to be ready, but we need to open our heart to everybody and change a little bit our attitude, even like towards the government and the media. I know that sucks what everybody does right now. That's really sucks, but we need to focus on love and on forgiveness and on other good deeds that will change the world, that we're gonna project to the world. And that's why I call my book From a Stranger to Another. So I'm gonna try to, all my notes here now here are in French, so I'm gonna translate it like in English while I read it. Sorry if it takes a little bit of time, but I'm gonna make something out of it. So the description of the book, and this is a travel that I did across Canada. I checked the whole country, and I wanted to prove that everybody, with everybody, we are ready to connect, to share even deep thought, spirituality. Not spirituality as like religion or something, or sect or guru, but spirituality as my energy, my inner light. I can connect it with everybody else, with everybody who want to connect their inner lights too. So just let me read you the description, and I'm gonna get into it after that. Once again, if you want to subscribe to my channel, I'm gonna have really even more interesting video after that, about not about myself, but about other topics, because like I already have a good video on spirituality in French, and I want to talk to you about, it's just an example, but about how I see spirituality. Well, spirituality is a part of our life, like our body or our brain. But let's come to the book first. So, From a Stranger to Another tells a story or a travel that I did with my consciousness in my backpack. I was just raising my thumb on the road in Canada from an ocean to another. Um, After that, I lost pretty much everything. Life started to give me everything to push me to leave to the unknown. Sometimes those kind of travel, for everybody, it can be a personal quest, but for me, I really wanted to leave to tell stories, everybody's stories, other people's stories, through mine, stories of generosity, sharing, love. And I was just crossing all the provinces and meeting some strangers, and I was realizing that um, even I was realizing that all the humans, we really, really, we really wanted to share and to cooperate with love and with like helping each other. This is deep down in our nature. So it's with a open mind and a spirituality, sharpen spirituality, in a healthy relationship with the universe, that destiny gave me a lot of synchronicities to help me to grow, but also to tell stories. I took some good and some really bad decisions. I lived, just by example, I liked homelessness and dependency. Um, and I literally lived in the streets or in my tent all the time. I met a rattlesnake in the wood, really deep in the wood, by the way. I'm going to tell that story later. And I helped some people in BC when they were evacuated with some fires from in the forest. I partied, I drank, I did a lot of drugs. I even spent the night in the drunk tank. And also I met my girlfriend in there. I met love, and I came back in my home in Quebec, in Canada. That's why I have that accent, by the way. And I wanted to rebuild a new life and transform. So that's kind of the story of the book. Um, and it's really before that crisis that's what makes it really really special, because we cannot even think about hitchhiking right now or meeting other people and being close to other people, because we really need to be open-minded to meet people, huh? To be close to those people. So the story, it's in 2017, and it really tells that we can connect with everybody. So let's just get back in 2015, when I was 26 years old. When I was 26 years old, I made a big mistake. A big mistake. I had a DUI. So I was driving. I was completely drunk, and I hit the ditch. I got arrested. I have a criminal case now. I lost my license for a while, and in Quebec, they don't take it really easily. Huh? I spent 3 years with a breathalyzer in my car. I didn't hurt nobody. I didn't. Everybody was cool on that side, but still, I made a big mistake, and I really had to live with it. So this is what happened, but that mistake brought me to where I'm right now. I grew so much out of it, and it made me write a book. And this is pretty much where the book started. Because after that mistake, I started. I made. I could have wait 2 years before the legal procedure. I just extended the time I had with my license and everything until I had to face it. So 2017, I lost my license. I lost also my girlfriend at that time, my little house, my job and everything. And I started brand new with nothing, you know. I had dogs. I had a life. It wasn't really going well with my ex-girlfriend, to be honest. And my job sucked so much. I had the worst of the worst bosses, that they were just like not honest, and they were just wanting to get the most of me with the worst condition. I was not happy anyway. So no license, no more job, no more home. I had to come back to my parents to live there. So I decided to hitchhike a little bit. There was a 15 minutes ride, not too big, but I decided to hitchhike. Yeah, to hitchhike a little bit further to go see my brother, because I needed to leave my house because I was broken up with my girlfriend. On the road, I was hitchhiking, and I was like, maybe I can go a little bit further. I never seen out west. I never seen BC. I never traveled a lot in my own country. So why not? Why not going out west? But those kind of travel, you cannot do it like right on the spot. I'm the kind of guy who needed to be prepared to do those kind of thing. I don't know. I'm a little bit like survival guy. I needed some stuff or whatever. My best friend were living in Ottawa for he's still living there actually, but so I was like, maybe I can go there and see how I feel and continue until I reach BC or Alberta or something like that. So I came back one week at my parents, and I was kind of still thinking about that trip, about that. I can leave. Nothing is keeping me there. And just by thinking about it, I started to manifesting a lot of synchronicity. I talked once to one of my friends. I was in a pool at my aunt, but I just talked about that to my friends, and my cousin was like just walking by, and he said, "Oh, you're talking about a backpack? You need a backpack? I have one." And he just lent me his backpack. I still have it. It's here. I love it. Anyway, so I had that backpack, and I had my parents that gave me a tent, and a really good friend of mine that gave me a sleeping bag, a really good one, and another friend a knife. I had food, I had everything, and so a week after that, I was kind of ready to leave. My backpack was all set up close to the front door, and I was like, okay, if I don't leave right now, is just fear that block me because I have nothing to lose. It might be dangerous, but I know my capacities, I know my talents, and I can do it. And I know how to talk to people, to get deep into conversations. Let's try to do it. Why not? So, and back then I was just starting to play guitar a little bit, and I was like, oh, I need to be creative. I want to work on my spirituality, on my mental, on everything. So I want to bring my guitar, but my backpack was so big that I was like, should I bring that? My guitar will be too big. But I've been writing for like all my life, so at the same time I was like, okay, let's just bring a book and let's do this. Let's write what I have to write, like a journal or something, and let's see if I can write a book. But about what? And even at that point, before leaving, because I was really watching a lot of documentaries about spirituality and everything, and love, and I always felt that call inside of myself to share love with everybody, to take care of everybody. So I was like, okay, I can write about love, about that love exists. Because in 2017, I already thought that we were losing that. We were forgetting that love exists even between strangers. So I was, okay, let's live and let's write about love. Let's meet people. I can live for myself, but I already knew who I was. I just wanted to know the world and know the stranger. So let's go, let's leave for a hitchhiking trip across Canada. No time limit, no space limit. Just go and let life guide me. Just from a stranger to another, and talk to everybody, and write about it. So I finished my book this year. In January this year, 2020, and it is the journal. Actually, the book, the time frame for the book, it's my journey, one day after another, and every day are written in it, and also, how can I say it? It's pretty much everything. It's 2 months and a half of me living just in my tent. I wasn't paying to live anywhere, no hostels, no nothing, just me and my tent. And I was not paying to move also, no train, no plane, nothing. My tent and my thumb, and that's it. And I can say I'm really proud that I wrote it completely. And if I look back to that, um, it even when I read it, it feels so good just to focus on being good with each other, to being human, because we need that. And in 2020, we even need it more. We need to read good story, to share love, to tell people we love them. And I think, and I continue to share that message really, really deeply, because there's no more um, there's no better topics than love itself, huh? And when we have love, from or a connection between strangers, nobody can remove that. Nobody can take, even if the government wants to take advantage of that, or install fear, they cannot take that connection away from us. We can connect everybody with everybody from the art, and the next step of our evolution will come from the art anyway, even if it's with stranger. So this is how I lived that adventure. I had my friend Melanie. She was a little bit sick at that time. She has an amazing healing story, that maybe I'm gonna get into another time. But she was sick at that time, so she wanted to be part of it. She gave me a little doll to put on my bag, and also she gave me my first ride to Ottawa, where I stayed at my best friend to, and my best friend always been my coach, like my physical coach anyway. So we did a little hike with my big backpack. My backpack was 60 pounds, and I walked like so much, like hundreds of hours with it on my, but I needed to work out before. So I stayed just one day in Ottawa with him. We had a great talk, great hike, and I was ready to leave the next day to go to I didn't know, actually. I didn't know where to go. I was just like, okay, let's go out west. And this is what I did. So first day was right after that day, and I was like, okay, let's just leave. I think that day 4 or 5 people stopped for me. Just there, I realized that a lot of people wanted to talk, and even talk deeply, not just talking about the weather or small talk, but really talking about what they feel, how they feel. And even, okay, my last ride that I had, that was two guys. They were wonderful. They were really, really nice to me. But we had to come back 3 times on our road. We have to U-turn and come back because they wanted to buy cocaine, and they wanted to take the time to transform it into crack cocaine and to smoke in the car. So you can see that the kind of travel or adventure that I got into, and I was like, okay, this is my first test. If I can do that, I really can go far. But I gotta be careful. So I have to say also that they kind of offered me some, to be honest, and I said yes. And even in my book, I say, sorry, mom, I said yes, because it could have been way worse. I will tell you to read the rest, but I can really tell you because it's in French. But I just to tell you, I never smoked crack in my life. Something happened that I couldn't do it, and it's a good thing. After that, there was a sign that I needed to put some limits, to say, okay, hard drugs not for me. That makes sense. But at that time, I was maybe stupid. That made sense right there. Few days later, just to tell you, few days later, I was like kind of hangover. I partied too much in a bar. I met a lot of people, and I wanted to see the Bruce Trail. I don't know if you saw the Bruce Peninsula and the Bruce Trail in Ontario, but it's a 15 kilometers hike. I was hangover. I was dehydrated for sure. I had my big backpack, 60 pounds, 15 kilometers. I was by myself. And when my ride left me at that trail, I checked on my backpack and I dropped my bottle of water. Didn't have any water to go, and it was like 35 outside. What did I think? I don't know. But I was like, okay, let's do this, So I started walking with my backpack and my water and everything. And yeah, I don't know. It went really, really bad. I even met a rattlesnake during that. You know, the rattlesnake kind of is at me, and I was so terrified about it. I never been that terrified in all my life. There's some kind of fear that you can fear that you said, oh, I almost die. Phew, I'm safe. But there's some fear that you feel that it's like, okay, I can die. Just be smart. You know what I mean? So I backed off a little bit and I talked to the snake, and I said, oh, I'm in your home right now. Just leave. Just go away, and I will continue to. I don't want to say nothing bad. I just want to continue my way. And some people can say some rattlesnakes, in like in Ontario or whatever, oh, they're not deadly. But at the same time, when you're like 10 kilometers by yourself away in the forest, even if they don't kill you, you don't really want to be bitten by by a rattlesnake at that time. So, but I can turn that story in beautiful things, with animals, with life itself. Our life in nature is complex, and now I had kind of a god complex. I was kind of, oh, I'm invincible. I can do it. My ego, my thing, and it kind of hit me hard that day. Even after I was so dehydrated that I was in the wood by myself, and I wanted to puke. You know, I wanted to because I couldn't. I was dehydrated. You know, I was taking a break every 5 minutes just because I couldn't do it anymore, and I was about to. So the night went. It was all dark. I couldn't even see my way on the trees and everything. And I was like, okay, I know it's forbidden, but I really have to sleep here in the woods, in the park. Um, and I was 13 kilometers away. I didn't even know where I was, to be honest. It was way after the night came, and so I wanted to sleep in the forest, and I set up my thing and everything, and I heard a dog bark, and I was like, wait a minute, if a dog is barking, that means there's somebody there, you know. And I heard some clapping and even a car starting, and I was like, okay, I gotta do it. There's someone there. I'm not in the middle of the wood, you know. So I got my strength, my adrenaline or something, and I just got my backpack. I went downhill, and it was so downhill, so straight that I there was some ropes on the side of the road, and I was just like with my big backpack, try to hang on the road and try to go. And I went. That was the Lac Huron in Ontario. And I got really close to the lake. I had an empty water bottle. I just started to drink. The lake is really clear there, and my thought was, if the animals they're drinking water there, I have to. You know, it's life or death at that point. So I started to drink um, the, the the water from the lake, and it feels really great. I fell asleep there. I saw fire, and the people that were staying there on the other side of the beach, I didn't even go there. You know, I just stayed there enjoying the water of the lake. And I fell asleep on a rock and woke up to the most beautiful view I ever seen. You know, when your life is not in danger anymore, you're like, oh, thank God. So I woke up there, and now I can say that I have a beautiful relationship with that lake, actually with the spirit of that lake. And I started my way go down to the road after that, and everything went fine. I got a ride. I met a shaman at one point. I met a lot of people. I did some volunteering in Kelowna, BC. This is where I met some really good friend of mine. By the way, if you listen to this, I love you, Anna and Will. I met my girlfriend as well, and I love her more than everything. I'm a dad now, actually. Um, I, um, in Banff, I met some people that I already like saw in Montebello at the Rockfest once. Never get contact with them. Ran into them in Banff. I did the drunk tank in Kamloops. I went into commune in Tofino, Pools Land for anybody who went there. Really a good commune. I got waken up at in Frank Slide, BC, by some cattle, some cows, a lot of them all around my tent. So a lot of journey, a lot of a story like that that made my day. But I connected so much with nature itself and with people that it is the most important thing we should do. You know, we should let that connection happen because this is what will save us in that craziness that we're living right now. This is what we need to be saved, to connect with people, because at one point in our evolution, we will have to get rid of the government, not in anarchy or in socialism or or communist or something, but just because we're adults, we are divine, and we can just leave we can just live with each other just because we can connect with each other, and because at one point being proud of our community and of our bond with each other will be more important than creating our life with money. And we have to acknowledge that and say to people, I love you more and more, even people that we don't know, because you know what, we love them even when we're angry at people. the deep story about anger when we fight with people, it is, I want to connect so bad with you that it gets me angry. I want to connect so bad with you because I want to share love with you, and because we disagree we cannot share love. So even when we disagree with people, we want to love them. So love is the base of everything. If we open our hearts, and the next step of our evolution, it's connecting with our hearts. And the most beautiful thing in life, in our reality right now, is that even if you studied physics, you know that everything in life as is opposite. Every force in life as is opposite. There's one thing in life, in reality, that doesn't have any opposite, and it's the evolution of our souls. It just go in one way. And the next step of evolution will happen when we're gonna open our art. So, and you say, okay, but what if you go against your evolution? If we go against our evolution, there's something, it's gravity like. It's like gravity, it's called karma. And even if you want to go against your evolution, you won't go downside. You will just flip it around. And more you want to go, more you're repeating the same pattern, more the karma, karma. Everybody knows karma. Karma will bring you back, like, right right on track. Sometimes it's hard, but it's for your own good. Karma, it's there for that. So our soul evolution will be our soul evolution is so beautiful for that, because it has no opposite. We can go slow, we can go fast, but we just go in one direction. So I saw 9 out of 10 provinces, Canadian provinces, um, and I have something to tell. I had a lot of synchronicity that guide me. Uh, I let life guides me through everything. I had no boundaries with time or space. So when someone was telling me, "Where are you going?" when they were getting me in their car, I was like, "I don't know. You tell me." And if someone was going one way that I didn't expect to go, I was just following, and I was stopping at some place that I didn't even know the name or whatever, meeting some other people there. They were bringing me everywhere else, and I was surfing on synchronicity. I will try here to translate the first 2 pages to talk about this. So my book starts like this. I don't know if I'm gonna read the 2 pages because it talks also about what I talked already, but I wanna start with it. So I could never have thought that young that I could tell that life it's beautiful. I think that life is like a woman that I need to build a relationship with. If I want to control everything, she's gonna be tired of me, and she won't trust me anymore. She will tell that I won't trust her and her capacities. But if I love her, if I embrace her, and if I trust her, and if I let her play a role in her life, she will give me everything just with love. Because she wants to give me everything with love. And I just have to let her do our work in our relationship. Mine is personal and social. I would never have thought that I would write a book about myself. And like I said, that video is about myself, but all the others, if you want to subscribe, it's going to be more about other topics, about spirituality itself. But yeah, I would never thought that I would write about a book about myself. But where I'm at right now, I can make the difference between wisdom and narcissism, and I can affirm that everybody has their stories to tell with a lot of journeys, divine journeys. Every moment is unique for everybody. Um, that moment can last 1 second or an eternity, but it will transform us unconditionally. I'm not, so I'm not even the same person that I was before writing those words. And yeah, every moment is unique, and that's why we have to enjoy the present moment, because even if we want to repeat the same moment over and over again, we can't, because the moment will have something different. And the past and the future, they don't exist, they're just all in our head. Like fear, it's all in our head. It's an illusion. So our past is our emotion, or our emotion face something that it's in our head, and our future it's something we anticipate in our head too. You know what I mean? So we really have to enjoy the present moment, because that moment won't never repeat itself. So I met my girlfriend in that book. It's not a love story, but I want to tell it because this is what brought me to be a dad first, and also to live where I live right now. And synchronicities kept guiding me even after the book. I live close to the sea here. Like I'm a East Coaster now, and I'm not living in Quebec anymore. Even if the book finished when I come back to Quebec, now I live in the province of New Brunswick in Canada. But at the end, my goal was just to open my heart. That's why this is the Art Chakra is here. Our evolution is all about our chakras. I'm going to talk more about the chakras in another day. And the goal of our evolution is not about opening all the chakras and being perfect. It's about opening our heart, and that's it. And we have to do that with ourselves, loving each other, and sharing love, sharing light with each other, and loving, trusting, and sharing life with life itself, by enjoying the present moment, by being grateful for what we have, and with what life can give us. This symbol, by the way, I was wearing it on my backpack, and I was telling that to everybody. And you can think that, like, on the road, some people, some redneck with their pickup truck, they don't want to talk about this, but actually they did, and that's amazing. So 2 months and a half, and it's all Canada wide. I touched 9 provinces, and like I said, I don't have any boundary with time and space, and any guidelines, any laws at some point, because even hitchhiking, it's outside of the law. It's a story that I tell, that I lived, from me to for the others, but it's in my head. So I'm not perfect in that story. I try not to be perfect in that story. I'm not the big hero that tried to save the world, because I made so many mistakes that I had to tell them. And anyway, like I said, it started with a DUI. How can I be a hero when it starts with the DUI, to be honest? And you will see, I really had a bizarre relationship with alcohol and drugs that I'm not afraid to talk about, because we all there at one point. And it's a relationship that I'm still working on today. It's kind of tough, and with drugs too, but one day at a time, and we can all do it, and we can all be better. So beyond that adventure, I talk a lot about spirituality. And you're gonna see, through that channel, I'm gonna talk more and more about spirituality, because we have three sides of our beings. We have our physical body, we have our mental body, and we have our energetical body, or our spirit body, our spirituality. Spirituality is not a religion, or it's not like, I don't know, a sect or witchcraft or whatever. It is just our energy, our feelings, our instinct, everything that we cannot explain. It is our spirituality. And like, if you want to work out your body, you have a lot of disciplines, you have a lot of sports that you can do to work out your body. Spirituality, it's the same thing, it's just another body. You have a lot of way to develop your spirituality. You can do it by yourself, you can be in a religion, you can do yoga. Just with yoga, you have 8 branches. So there's a lot of way to do spirituality, and I talk about that, and I'm gonna talk a lot about that in that channel, if you want to subscribe, because I think I have a lot of other ways to talk about spirituality that we can apply in our life day to day, without being the guy who meditate, or the girl who do yoga twice a day or something. We can just be spiritual because we shine, and I want you to shine. I want myself to shine, of course, but I want you to shine, because this is when we shine that we heal our traumas, and this is when we shine that we can even show the example to everybody and make them shine too. In that book here, the Tao Te Ching, they said that the best teacher, the master, teach without teaching, just by acting, And even if you share a lot of information on Facebook about what's happening right now, the science and everything, uh, some people they they won't understand, But if you show them that they can shine, and because life right now it's like a sinking boat. We know that the boat is sinking, and it's not even with the crisis that it started to sink, but it's even before, And we think that by copping out, or by bailing out the water, we can save the ship. But what if it's too late? We want to save people, but it's not by bailing out water. If you just realize that you're so divine that you can fly above the boat, you can show people that they can shine too, and they can fly too, and they can fly with you, and all together we can build uh, a flying crew, something that we don't need a boat finally. And this is a little bit my message, my story on that channel. And everything's gonna happen from a stranger to another. Simple as that. So in that book also, I always talk with two other characters. There's me, that I'm walking the whole time, hitchhiking. There's Jim, that is my backpack. So my physical capacity, my physical being. When I grab an item on my backpack, I ask Jim to give me my item. If I talk to Eva, it's my instinct, because I'm a feminine guy. Let's say it's connected to my spirituality, and I'm not afraid to say that I have a beautiful feminine side, and my instinct is feminine as well. So I talk to Eva, and more I drink, more Eva is far from me. Sometimes she snack the door and she just leave, and I decide, and I want to listen to her or not. And you're gonna see if you read it, and if you want to come on Facebook, on YouTube, and talk about it, I would be really, really happy to talk to you about that, and about what I have to share to the world. And I always said that I have something to share, but you have something to share too. So if you wanna talk to me about it too, let's go. Let's go, because we need to share and to see different points of view. In that book too, I talk about politics. I studied in politics. I had a bachelor degree, but so in my French channel, I talk a lot about politics, and after a while, the information is out there. I know what's going on in the world. I really know it, and I continue to watch it, but I will just stop to talk about it, because there's so many people that are talking about it right now, to be honest. And it's like we have too much information right now. We know that something is wrong, and it's okay. I acknowledge it. Something is wrong in the world. Now we have to heal it. We don't have to fight it. We have to heal it. And this is by sharing love with each other that we will do it, you know? So I will talk about politics, conspiration a little bit, religion and spirituality, that are two separated, but they are linked in a way. And in every religion, there's something good and there's something corrupted, the best and the worst. Where is my Quran? I have a Quran here somewhere. The best and the worst thing about like Islam, let's say. Have you ever noticed the symbology and all the symbols and the forms in Islam? It's all sacred, Or the fact that the women are covering their face. I know it's a sign of control and everything. I'm not saying it's a good, and I don't encourage that at all. But saving the male and the female sexual energy is something really, really important, because our prana, or our kundalini, it's linked with our sexual energy, our second chakra, and we have to acknowledge it, that it's more sane and holy and divine that we think. And we have to save it, or we have to worship it more, So it comes from that, and it got corrupted after after years. So it was in 2017, and I already talk about the controls, the medias, losing our freedom, division with our people, but I surely and mostly talk about love with a big L, love. And I make the difference between being in love and to love. It's something really different, We think that being in love is the real love, but actually it's a kind of love, and it's a kind of love with a lot of expectations. But love itself, when I say to my brother, to my mom, I love you, to a stranger that I had a beautiful conversation, amen, I love you, it is real love. I talk about my mama C in Ontario, how much I love that woman, that she helped me so much, and she has such a great art. If you swing by Ontario, let me know if you need something, because that woman is an angel. And just to meet her, she's so funny and everything. Anyway, she is for me the representation of love itself, the personalization, the characterization of love. And this is beautiful. So now, today in 2020, uh, we really push to be one against each other. Every rules about the mask on everything, it stands of telling on other people. If I go on in a store without a mask, when it's mandatory, of course, it's not the police that will be there, or the government, or the media that will be there. It's either someone in the store or someone who is scared that will tell on me. So we all push even more to be against each other, and were pushed not to trust each other. That, even in New Brunswick, we didn't have any cases, and everybody is talking here. What I noticed is that everybody is talking like it's everybody's fault. Oh yeah, but the people who traveled, it's their fault. We have to be fearful of everybody's choice. We have to tell on people. But you know what? We all smart. We are all divine, and we can all do our choices to care about everybody. And even if you think that people are too stupid to do it, it is not true. You are divine. And if we had more justice in this world, there will be less crimes and less people who would care about themselves. But the system is rigged to bring injustice and to bring people to think for themselves. But if we can fix that, and if we can bring our focus outside of money to be proud of creating a community, everybody together, the injustice will leave, will be gone, will be finished, and we would work everybody as a team. And this is why I want to bring the world. I cannot do it myself, but if we share a good message all together, we can do it. So how can we organize everybody all together, huh? How can we keep that magic that it's inside of ourselves? Because we need to feel good, everybody together. We need. It's not even oh, it's gonna be better. I should do it. We need to do it to preserve the world as it is, to make a better world, because the world is in transformation right now, and we have the choice to say I love you. We have the choice to create a better or a worse world. And it's all about fear or love, because the opposite of fear is not courage, and the opposite of love is not hate. Love and fear are opposite. And fear, if you fear, you will create hate, guilt, and anger, and anxiety, you know? But it's all comes with fear, and fear is healed with love. And how do you do that? Simple. You can say to everybody and mean it, I love you. And we should not be, I cannot understand why we are so prompt to say bad things or to critic, but when comes the time to say I love you, we're shy about it. Love, it's what create us. Love is it what makes the world light and love. It's so unique and it's so simple by itself. We should not be ashamed to love. Or just saying, if you're shy, you can say, I'm so happy to see you today, or I trust you, or I understand you. Those words are so important. I trust you, I understand you, I'm happy to see you, I love you. It's so important to tell to everybody that we can change the world with just those vibrations. We throw vibrations into the world, and those vibrations start with inside of yourself. The universe is literally inside of yourself, and it throw itself into your senses for you to see yourself through your senses, to see the universe through your senses. So if you are the universe, you are God. You can do everything. You are divine, And if you correct those distortions inside of yourself, you can create a better world for yourself, but for everybody else that surrounds you. I see the world, or everybody, like little dots, little lights. And everybody that has traumas or distortions, they are like red lights. And when you try to work on that inside of yourself, and that channel will really help you to work, like, about to work on that inside of yourself, to throw it out after, but when you start to work on that, your light is starts to turn from red to white. And more you have a white light inside of you, more you can go to the other white. Like, everybody is a light, and if you connect to them in your white light, you will turn the other white, and they will turn the other right, etc., etc. And this is how we will heal the world. It's not gonna be a message on the public place, from someone who will scream louder than everybody else. It's gonna be one person from another, one stranger to another. It is the secret, the real secret, how to heal the world. And I don't. I, for all the people that are focusing on informations right now, you are doing good. You are divine. Thank you very much, and continue. We need that. But the awakening is not going to happen just with some information, but it's happening here with our heart chakra, the anahata. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in other episodes. So if we can understand that everybody has a different evolution, but we all been there too. We all been in a red light, and we're transforming ourselves in a white light. How can we critique ourselves? Even Jesus was saying, if you ever seen, you can throw the first rock. I don't know the real thing in English, because I know it in French, but you know what I mean. It's like everybody have sinned before, and we will continue to sin. So it's really, we don't have to judge people. We all are in a different evolution path. And if someone corrected something, I can look like I know some things by talking like this, but I have a problem with alcohol. And other people, they don't have problem with alcohol, but they need to work on something else. We all have a different path, and it's okay. And if we work all together like a big puzzle, we can all help each other with their different path, because we all have a different luggage on our shoulder that create weight, a big backpack. And we have to just to share things, to be lighter and lighter, because at the end, you know what, you are divine, and everybody has a big light that is shining inside of themselves. And you know what? I will tell you, to everybody, it is time to shine. It is really time to shine. Just shine. You can do it. Because everybody wants to shine. We just don't know how to do it. And if I have if I have one mission, is to open that door for you. To open the door to shine for yourself. I write a lot. I know I speak, my first language is French, but let me help you to shine. Because after that, you won't need me anymore, and you can do it. And you know what? When you're going to shine, you're going to make other people shine with humbleness, but skills, with leadership, with passions, and with divinity, with pride. You can shine and make other people shine. And that magic. Just talking about that magic, it can change the world. the magic that made everybody connect to each other. There's not even a word to explain how we can connect to each other from a stranger to another, but we can, and we can feel it, everybody. We can recognize that we are divine. You know that you are divine. You know that you have a soul. I know you know. I know you know. And just the fact that we're a human being, it is so special. Everything that we have a consciousness, and we look at each other, and we know from like behind our eyes, with our third eye behind our eyes, that we have a consciousness. We see a screen or a vision, and we can picture everybody have that mental process. And this is so beautiful to be human. We can see the blue color of the sky, the green in the trees, and it's so we can be grateful for that, even if we don't have the money that we want, the desires that we want. If we can connect and feel that love between two strangers or between two people, we are winning. And this is the way we're going to win that fight, that transformation, and we're going to create something else. We have to focus on that light, and we have to connect that light, that laser light, with each other. It's like a fiber optic cable. We can connect light with light, laser with laser, and evolve everybody, everybody all together. Unfortunately, my book is in French, but I'm going to talk about everything in that channel, particularly in English. Like I said, share that video if you want. You can also subscribe if you want. It will be my pleasure. And if you know someone who wants to translate my work, I'm really open to do to let it translated by someone else. The goal is really to learn, to live. It's a goal of life. That's why we reincarnate. It's to live and learn. Live and learn. Learn and appreciate life, the present moment. We have to think about it, and there's a way to think properly. I'm going to talk about it in another video, but there is a link to there is a way to think properly. And yeah, uh, thank you, really thank you. I know I took a little bit more time. Shocking that I wanted to talk about that book and talk about my story, but now you know my goal. I'm going to talk more about where I come from a little bit, my childhood and everything, but it's going to be through a lot of teachings, and it's going to be more about you than about me, because um, I have actually had a ayahuasca trip lately, and I realized, or she made me realize, that what I have to offer to the world, it's a end guide, a handbook to heal yourself. I cannot heal yourself, but you can do it, because you're divine. You can do it, and I just want to give you some tips to help you heal yourself. And even if we think we don't need healing, we all have traumas, either from our life, either from our past life, or either from an ancestor. But we all the trauma, they cut our DNA, and and they block energy to flow properly, because if our energy were flowing like 100%, we would be God. So I'm gonna finish just here. I think it's been an hour already that I'm talking. So if you're open to what's happening on the world right now, and you're open to learn a little bit more and to share, you can add me on Facebook. You can add me on Instagram if you want. I'm gonna show you my Facebook and my just stay on the screen. On my YouTube, it's Machiavémique. If you're on Facebook right now, my Facebook is gonna be D'un inconnu à l'autre, but it's gonna be in French. My Instagram is kind of both too. So and pretty much of my work is in French. But if you follow that channel here, I'm gonna do a playlist just with my English videos. And I'm also on like Spotify and everything, all the podcast platform. So you can follow me also in podcast if you want to listen to me while you do other stuff. Let me just work on my things, and I'm going to tell you when it's all going to be ready. So thank you to and you're really thank you for everything. You're really welcome in my world, in my life. I love you, everybody. Be safe, be strong, be informed, and I'm gonna be with you for the next days, the next weeks, maybe the next month, and we're gonna work together. So if you really like that video, please share it. I want to share a good information. I want to share a good I want to share a good view of the world and the way we can heal the world. We can heal ourselves to heal the world. This is how we should do it. We should know ourselves and heal ourselves to heal the world. It is as simple as it is. So I'm gonna finish on that. I love you all. Thank you very much for believing in that. And namaste. Once again, if you can subscribe and share, that would be really amazing. I love you. See you soon. Bye.